So today on Twitter, I made a bit of an outrageous tweet talking about the Loomi ecosystem. It was a whole video detailing how I didn't know much about the ecosystem, but I know price analysis and I know how markets work. And I was looking at the Loomi ecosystem and I was seeing that these Genesis creeps, if we go have a look at their floor price at the moment, they're at 10 Ethereum right now, which is absolutely fucking bonkers. Dropped down to 8.75 floor price. But the ecosystem, the way they work, I believe you yield 1,500 Loomi a day. And Loomi price right now is at 50 cents. So for holding a creeps, you're earning $750 a day, which is fucking bonkers. So without knowing about any of this shapeshifter stuff, I made the analysis that we've had a parabolic move upwards. People are buying a lot of Loomi. I don't really know why. And just because of this parabolic move upwards, there needs to be a retracement down to collect more orders in order for price to be healthy. Now, I do believe we are going to still get a retracement down ahead of the mint back down to here. But it turns out their shapeshifters mint is actually tomorrow. And in order to mint the shapeshifters, you need to buy Loomi, which obviously entices demand in the markets. So now I'm starting to feel a little bit wishy-washy because I've obviously called out creeps and I've seen them go crazy. And seeing something go from 0.8 to 10 Ethereum is so unsustainable and so insane. So I have to be rational and try and help you guys take profits and call tops, etc. But now as I learn more about the ecosystem, I realise they're releasing the shapeshifters and they're releasing the mystery box. And this is both utility for Loomi. So now that we understand that Loomi has a huge amount of demand, we kind of get to a bit of a tug of war, you might be able to say. So if we go to web whiteboard here, I'll try and make this a little bit clearer for you guys by using the whiteboard. Let's create a new board, create a share board, blah, blah, blah. Cool. So we have the Loomi token here. So this is the Loomi token. Why is it not giving me a pen? Make it a little bit thicker as well. So not let me make it thicker. There we go. Loomi. So this is the Loomi token, and you have to understand that people that own the Genesis Creeps NFT are earning $750 a day. And if you own like a higher rarity one, you might be earning more a day. That's huge amount of money. At the same time, so the people that own the NFT, they get the Loomi token. So it might be better for me to actually put this in the middle, make it a little bit clearer. So Loomi in the middle, this is the center of the ecosystem. And the people that own the Genesis NFTs, so the creeps holders are up here, and they generate 1,500 Loomi a day. Cool. So by owning a creeps NFT, you're generating 1,000. Looks so bad. You're generating 1,500 Loomi a day, and now you have the choice of what you do with your Loomi. Loomi is fungible. It's tradable. You can trade it on the open market, so you can take your profits and you can trade it out and make $750 a day. Which obviously $750 is a huge amount of money to be making daily. So that's the sell side. So this is the sell side of the argument. Then we also have the buy side of the argument, which is that we have the shapeshifter launch and any sort of ecosystem utility. So the buy side of the argument is that the creeps holders have a choice to make. They can either go into the utility, the ecosystem, or they can go into the fungible market and get rid of their tokens. On the buy side of the ecosystem, they have the shapeshifters launch tomorrow. So they can buy it with those. They can also buy armory items, which now have a floor of 1.8 or 1.2 ETH, I believe. So they can buy armory items. So they have a lot of ways to spend their money in the ecosystem. I believe this ecosystem is super inflated, just because on the sell side, the option of $750 passive income a day is kind of ridiculous. Not just kind of ridiculous, it is ridiculous. It's not sustainable. And it will come crashing down. But I just called out, because I didn't know anything about the fundamentals, I called out this crash is going to happen very shortly. We're actually returning back down to an order zone right here. If you do look at the price action, we will see a reaction away from this zone here. I'll just draw that out. Boop. So I'll keep this tweet active. Although I do actually believe that we're going to turn around and create a new all-time high. So I am going to have to eat my hat, unfortunately. I mean, I made this tweet and I was fucking cocky about it. I didn't know anything about the fundamentals. And it looks like, I'll explain why it looks like this. So it looks like I'm likely going to be wrong because the shapeshifters hype and the creeps hype in general, due to the fact that everyone that is earning 1,500 Loomi a day is going to use their Loomi to mint shapeshifters, because sure, they can get $750, but if the shapeshifters are worth like 5 Ethereum, then it actually works out better for them to use their Loomi to mint the shapeshifters, which means the demand for Loomi is going to increase. Now, you also have to understand that shapeshifters, let's say they cost 10,000 Loomi. I'm not actually sure how much they cost. If you're earning 1,500 a day and you've just bought a Creeps Genesis and you want to mint a shapeshifter, you don't have enough Loomi. So then it forces you to buy more of the Loomi token. So it seems at the moment, on the sell side, you have $750 a day. That's your one option. It's your only option. On the buy side at the moment, you have the shapeshifters, you have the armory, You have the fact that there's a high demand for the token, as people that have just bought a Creeps NFT won't have enough Loomi to mint a shapeshifter. So they have to go onto the open market. They have no choice. They have to go into the open market and buy Loomi token, which then obviously induces demand into the market and also induces a supply shock. So now that I have an understanding of the fundamentals, I believe that ahead of the shapeshifters mint, we're probably going to see a pump in the Loomi token. I know it's fucking nuts. How have you just made a video saying that it's time to take profits on creeps, and now you're saying that you're going to pump creeps? That's fucking crazy. But this is why I make these calls out to the community, because literally straight away I tagged creeps in it because I knew I was going to get creeps talking to me, and I got some fucking really good answers. This is a great answer. This is another great answer. Another great answer here. This is amazing. Like, this is why I make these tweets out in the community. I'm not a fucking blind person. I did technical analysis because I'm a technical analyst. And from the technical perspective, if there weren't any fundamental drivers, this is what's about to happen with the Loomi token. Because we have the shapeshifters, it induces demand into the market, and that's likely what caused this pump in price here, was because of the shapeshifters launch. And this is just a little retracement. Now that I understand we have all these fundamentals driving us up and we just grab liquidity, it's likely we'll see higher upside. From a health perspective, I would like to see the token retrace back down to these order blocks down here, come back down here to collect orders before moving upwards. That would make me happiest with the way we would make an all-time high on the Loomi token. That would be where I'll be most confident, so I would like to see a reaction away from this order block, which it will react away from. Come down here today ahead of the mint, and then as we approach the mint, see a movement away from this zone back upwards to create a new all-time high. As I said, it's completely opposite to what I said an hour and a half ago, but because of you guys on Twitter calling it out and giving me knowledge and stuff like that, you've educated me more in the creeps ecosystem. I now understand it much better, and I understand that due to supply shocks and a demand influx, that likely because of this mint right here, the Loomi token is going to pump. I will say, after the shapeshifters drop, unless it goes absolutely fucking bonkers and it just keeps going upwards, we're likely going to see a nice retracement away, because after the shapeshifters drop, we have to wait for the mystery box to drop. And in that meantime, like we said on the whiteboard, go back to the whiteboard, all of this shit is why the Loomi token is pumping. When it comes to the buy side of the Loomi token, the reason for people to buy the Loomi token, there's so much shit at the moment. And there's a new thing being introduced in the shapeshifters, which is more shit for you to buy with your Loomi token. And that's why the demand for the Loomi token is so high, and with the shapeshifters it's going to get higher. After the shapeshifters mint out, and after there's no real need for you to use a Loomi token as much anymore, so the shapeshifters are no longer a big exciting thing, they've already minted out. Then you'll see that this whole section starts to be a little bit less stacked, and it starts to be a little bit less important. Because after the shapeshifters mint out, do the hype thing, blah 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 blah, the market will top out. It will. You'll see Creeps Genesis start to top out and go down in price. You'll see the armory items start to top out and go down in price. You'll see the shapeshifters start to top out and go down in price, and it will. That's the lull until we wait for the mystery box. In the time between these two mints, you'll see everything drop in price. Now, because the shapeshifters are coming out, I have to delay my thesis again. I believe my thesis on Loomi is still correct. Fundamentally, it's still completely correct. We are going to see downside. This is not healthy and sustainable. But just because we have the shapeshifters mint, I believe we are going to see slightly more upside on the Loomi token and slightly more upside on the Creeps ecosystem ahead of the shapeshifters mint. However, that does not mean that you should go and fucking buy a load of Loomi and shapeshifters, blah blah blah. And I still believe that you should be looking to take your profits, because yes, this shapeshifters thing is happening, and we are going to get a demand influx. But you have to understand that we are at the top of the market right now. This shapeshifters allows for a supply shock and a demand influx, which is a very smart way to pump the token, and this is happening at all-time high in the Loomi token. So likely we're going to break through these all-time highs and make a new all-time high, maybe one last big old pump, last hurrah. That would be cool. But I just want you guys to understand that after that last big old pump from this fundamental driver, we're about to flip and go down very harshly in the Loomi token. Let's take it onto a daily chart and just look how ridiculous this looks. Yeah, absolutely fucking bonkers. I mean, there's not a single red candle on the daily chart. Yeah, they're an incredible ecosystem. They're going to continue to do very well, but they're not going to... After shapeshifters, they maybe another little pump, another nice little daily candle, but we are going to need to see some red. A chart does not exist without any red. You are going to start to see some red, and that will come after the shapeshifters mint. But I just thought I had to release this video and clarify, because you guys did a really good job educating me on the Creeps ecosystem, educating me on the fundamentals and why there's so many reasons to buy Creeps right now and why they're pumping, why this pump has happened, because of the shapeshifters mint. And you understand that after the shapeshifters mint happens, all of this bullshit starts to become a little bit less relevant, and this $750 after the shapeshifters mint starts to become a lot more attractive, especially if we go up to like 75 cents and you're earning like $1,000 a day. That starts to become much more attractive. As the price of the Genesis NFT falls, you'll start to see people start to take more profits on their Loomi tokens. I hope that clears things up for you guys a little bit more. Again, thank you guys so much for fucking educating me on Twitter. I look forward to this tweet here that I made. Gonna leave this here. If we come on, I'm going to eat my hat and say I'm wrong. I'm going to leave that there because I am going to eat my hat and I am probably going to be fucking wrong. That's cool. I'm okay being wrong. I didn't understand the fundamentals when I made that tweet. I'm not going to go delete the tweet. The price action, everything about it was fine, but I didn't understand the fundamentals. Now I understand the fundamentals. I know that we're going to come above this all-time high, but we're going to do the same thing. We're still going to reverse and see downside in the markets. It's just that the downside is going to be delayed until after the shapeshifter's mint. This is the big fundamental driver. So I hope that clears things up. For all the creeps people that are messaging me, I'm sure this video is going to be a breath of fresh air for you, because you're probably like, fuck this guy, he's fucking fudding our ecosystem. I'm not fudding your ecosystem. Your ecosystem is just propped up on stilts at the moment, and it is going to fucking come crashing down after the shapeshifter's mint. Not crashing down, but you're going to see at least return back down to 10-cent regions, etc. Massive, massive, massive dump in price. Not to be fucking horrible and rain on your parade, but that is what's going to happen. It's not sustainable for you to keep up these massive, massive, massive returns in the creeps ecosystem. Unless you guys are just fucking bonkers as a community and none of you sell your tokens. But I understand how markets work. And after the shapeshifters mint, you will be selling your tokens. But yeah, I look forward to eating my hat and quote tweeting this and being like, I was wrong. Especially after saying I'm the best trader on Twitter. Like, that's fucking embarrassing. But oh well, you have to live with it. I'll probably make another tweet when Loomi has that pump after shapeshifters and say, okay, this time I really am right and it is going to crash and I will be right. But until then, a little bit of an update video, a little bit of a recap on the Loomi ecosystem and the creeps ecosystem with my updated knowledge. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you in the next one.